Hello, everyone. To lighten the COVID's cloud a little, Driftwood Theatre is performing something different, exploring the new Zoom medium. Instead of on stage, we are online. Think casual, think drive-in theatre, think party line telephone, think fun. So welcome to Driftwood Players' reading of the old Possum Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot, Part 1. T.S. Eliot loved cats and thought they were special for two qualities they possess in an extreme degree. They are both highly dignified and at the same time utterly comical. So, therefore, the naming of cats is a difficult matter. It isn't just one of your holiday games. You may think it fast. I'm mad as a hatter when I tell you a cat needs 3 different names. First of all, there's a name the family use daily, such as Peter, Augustus, Alonso, or James, such as Victor or Jonathan, George or Bill Bailey, all of them sensible everyday names. There are fancier names if you think they sound sweeter, some for the gentlemen, some for the dames, such as Plato, Admetus, Electra, Demeter, but all of them sensible everyday names. But I tell you, a cat needs a name that's peculiar, a name that's particular and more dignified. Else, how can he keep up his tail perpendicular, or spread out his whiskers, or cherish his pride? Of names of this type, I can give you a quorum, such as Monkeystrap, Quaxico, or Corioculprat, such as Bombalurina or Jellicles, names that never belong to more than one cat. But above and beyond, there is still one name left over, a name you never will guess, a name no human research can discover, but the cat himself knows and will never confess. If you happen to notice a cat in profound meditation, the reason I tell you is always the same. His mind is engaged in a rapt contemplation of the thought of the thought of the thought of his name, his ineffable, ineffable, deep and inscrutable, singular name. Oh, the next cat up is the Rum Tum Tugger.
The Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat. If you offer him pheasant, he would rather have grouse. If you put him in a house, he would much prefer a flat. If you put him in a flat, then he'd rather have a house. If you set him on a mouse, then he only wants a rat. If you set him on a rat, then he'd rather chase a mouse. Yes, the Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat, and there isn't any call for me to shout it. For he will do what he do, and there's no doing anything about it. The Rum Tum Tugger is a terrible bore. Oh, when you let him in, he wants to be out. He's always on the wrong side of every door. And as soon as he's at home, then he'd like to get about. He likes to lie in the bureau drawer. But he makes such a fuss if he can't get out. Yes, the Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat, and it isn't any use for you to doubt it. For he will do as he do, and there's no doing anything about it. The Rum Tum Tugger is a curious beast. His disobliging ways are a matter of habit. If you offer him fish, then he always wants a feast. When there isn't any fish, then he won't eat a rabbit. If you offer him cream, then he sniffs and sneers, for he only likes what he finds for himself. So you'll catch him in it right up to the ears if you put it away on the larder shelf. The Rum Tum Tugger is artful and knowing. The Rum Tum Tugger doesn't care for a cuddle, but he'll leap on your lap in the middle of your sewing. for there's nothing he enjoys like a horrible muddle. Yes, the Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat, and there isn't any need for me to spout it, for he will do as he do, and there's no doing anything about it.
Leaving the curious cat to do as he do, we head out for an evening stroll to the docks and Growltiger's last stand.
Growltiger was a bravo cat who traveled on a barge. In fact, he was the roughest cat who ever roamed at large. From Gravesend up to Oxford he pursued his evil aims, rejoicing in his title of the Terror of the Thames. His manners and appearance did not calculate to please. His coat was torn and seedy, he was baggy at the knees. One ear was somewhat missing, no need to tell you why, and he scowled at a hostile world from one forbidden eye. The cottagers at Rotherhithe knew something of his fame. At Hammersmith and Putney, people shuddered at his name. They would fortify the hen house, lock up the silly goose, when the rumour ran along the shore, Growltiger's on the loose. Woe to the weak canary that fluttered from its cage. Woe to the pampered Pekingese that faced Growltiger's rage. Woe to the bristly bandicoot that lurks on foreign ships. And woe to any cat with whom Growltiger comes to grips. But most to cats of foreign race his hatred had been vowed. To cats of foreign name and race no quarter was allowed. The Persian and the Siamese regarded him with fear, because it was a Siamese that mauled his missing ear. Now, on a peaceful summer night, all nature seemed at play. The tender moon was shining bright, the barge at Molesey lay. All balmy in the moonlight, it lay rocking on the tide, and Growltiger was disposed to show his sentimental side. His bucko mate, Grumbleskin, long since had disappeared, for to the Bell at Hampton he had gone to wet his beard, and his bosun, Timber Brutus, he too had stolen away in the yard behind the lion he had prowling for his prey. In the forespeak of the vessel, Growltiger sate alone, concentrating his attention on the Lady Griddlebone, and his raffish crew were sleeping in their barrels and their bunks, as the Siamese came creeping in their sampans and their junks. Growltiger had no eye or ear for aught but Griddlebone, and the ladies seemed enraptured by his manly baritone, disposed to relaxation and awaiting no surprise. But the moonlight shone reflected from 1,000 bright blue eyes, and closer still and closer the sampans circled round, and yet from all the enemy there was not heard a sound. The lovers sang their last duet in danger of their lives, for the foe was armed with toasting forks and cruel carving knives. Then Gilbert gave the signal to his fierce Mongolian horde. With a frightful burst of fireworks, the Chinks they swarmed aboard, abandoning their sampans and their pullaways and junks. They battened down the hatches and all the crew within their bunks. Then Griddlebone, she gave a screech, for she was badly scared. I'm sorry to admit it, but she quickly disappeared. She probably escaped with ease. I'm sure she was not drowned. but a serried ring of flashing steel Growltiger did surround. The ruthless foe pressed forward in stubborn rank on rank. Growltiger, to his vast surprise, was forced to walk the plank. He, who 100 victims had driven to that drop, at the end of all his crimes was forced to go kerflip, kerflop. Oh, there was joy at Wapping when the news flew through the land. At Maidenhead and Henley there was dancing on the Strand. Rats were roasted whole at Brentford and at Victoria Dock. And a day of celebration was commanded in Bangkok.
Alas for the big, bad Bravo cat, his end just kerflip, kerflop. After the tragic splashdown, we head over to the village and old Deuteronomy. He's asleep. Wake up, old Deuteronomy.
Old Deuteronomy has lived a long time. He's a cat who's lived many lives in succession. He's famous in proverb and famous in rhyme, a long while before Queen Victoria's accession. Old Deuteronomy's buried 9 wives and more. I'm tempted to say 99. And his numerous progeny prospers and thrives, and the village is proud of him in his decline. At the sight of that placid and bland physiognomy, as he sits in the sun on the vicarage wall, the oldest inhabitant croaks, "Why, of all things, can it be, really? No, yes, oh, hi, oh, my eye, my mind may be wandering, but I confess I believe it is old Deuteronomy." Old Deuteronomy sits in the street. He sits in the high street on market day. The bullocks may bellow, the sheep they may bleat, but the dogs and the herdsmen turn them away. The cars and the lorries run over the curb. And the villagers put up a notice, "Road closed," so that nothing untoward may chance to disturb Deuteronomy's rest, when he feels so disposed, or when he's engaged in domestic economy. And the oldest inhabitant croaks, "Well, of all things, can it be? Really? No. Yes, oh, hi, oh, my eye. My sight's unreliable, but I can guess that the cause of the trouble is old Deuteronomy." Old Deuteronomy lies on the floor of the Fox and French hounds for his afternoon sleep. And when the men say it's time for one more, the landlady from her back parlour will peep and say, "Now then, out you go, by the back door, for old Deuteronomy mustn't be woken. I'll have the police if there's any uproar." And out they all shuffle without a word spoken. The digestive repose of that feline's gastronomy must never be broken, whatever befall. And the oldest inhabitant croaks, "Well, of all things, can it be? Really? Yes. No. Oh, hi. Oh, my eye, my legs may be tottery. I must go slow and be careful, old Deuteronomy."
Well, old Deuteronomy may rule the village by day, but by night it's the lovely song of the Jellicle cat Meow! Ow, 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 ow.
Meow. Jellicle cats, come out tonight. Jellicle cats, come one, come all. The Jellicle moon is shining bright. Jellicles, come to the Jellicle ball. Jellicle cats are black and white. Jellicle cats are rather small. Jellicle cats are merry and bright and pleasant to hear when they caterwaul. Jellicle cats have cheerful faces. Jellicle cats have bright black eyes. They like to practice their airs and graces and wait for the Jellicle moon to rise. Jellicle cats develop slowly. Jellicle cats are not too big. Jellicle cats are roly-poly. They know how to dance a gavotte and a jig. Until the Jellicle moon appears, they make their toilette and they take their repose. Jellicles wash behind their ears. Jellicles dry between their toes. Jellicle cats are white and black. Jellicle cats are of moderate size. Jellicles jump like a jumping jack. Jellicle cats have moonlit eyes. They're quiet enough in the morning hours. They're quiet enough in the afternoon, reserving their terpsichorean powers to dance by the light of the Jellicle moon. Jellicle cats are black and white. Jellicle cats, as I said, are small. If it happens to be a stormy night, they will practice a caper or two in the hall. If it happens the sun is shining bright, you would say they had nothing to do at all. They are resting and saving themselves to be right for the Jellicle moon and the Jellicle ball.
They might not, or they might be joined by the dreadful duo of daytime mischief, Mungojerrie and Rumpleteaser.
Meow, Mungojerrie.
And Rumpleteaser were a very notorious couple of cats, knockdown clowns, trick-change comedians, tightrope artists, and acrobats.
They had an extensive reputation. They made their home in Victoria Grove.
That was merely their center of operation, for they were incurably given to rove.
They were very well known in Cornwall Gardens, in Launceston Place, and in Kensington Square.
They had really a little more reputation than a couple of cats could very well bear.
If the area window was found ajar and the basement was looked like a field of war,
or a tile or two came loose from the roof, which presently ceased to be waterproof.
if the drawers were pulled out on the bedroom chests and you couldn't find one of your winter vests,
or after supper one of the girls suddenly missed her Woolworth pearls,
then the family would say,
it's that horrible cat,
it was Mungojerrie.
or Rumpleteaser, and there's nothing at all to be done about that.
Mungojerrie.
Our Rumpleteaser had a very unusual gift of the gab. They were highly efficient cat burglars and remarkably smart at smash and grab.
They made their home in Victoria Grove. They had no regular occupation. They were plausible fellows and liked to engage a friendly policeman in conversation.
And when the family assembled for Sunday dinner, with their minds made up that they wouldn't get thinner,
On Argentine joint, potatoes and greens, and the cook would appear from behind the scenes and say in a voice that was broken with sorrow, I'm afraid we must wait and have dinner tomorrow.
for the joint had gone from the oven like that.
Then the family would say,
It's that horrible cat,
it was Mungojerrie.
or Rumpleteaser. And most of the time they left it at that.
Mungojerrie
And Rumpleteaser.
had a wonderful way of working together.
And some of the time you would say it was luck. And some of the time you would say it was weather.
They would go through the house like a hurricane, and no sober person could take his oath. Was it Mungojerrie?
Or Rumpleteaser. Or could you have sworn it might have been both?
And when you heard a dining room smash, or up from the pantry there came a loud crash, or down from the library came a loud ping from a vase, which was commonly said to be Ming.
Then the family would say, now which was which cat?
It was Mungojerrie.
And Rumpleteaser. And there's nothing at all to be done about that.
Meow. Good night, everyone.
Well, that's all for tonight. Driftwood Players signing off. Come and meet us for the second session tomorrow night of The Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. The gang will be there, so from our houses to your houses, having fun. So good night and sweet dreams. Meow.